Welcome to St Fagans. Now, St Fagans is in the borough of Cardiff, and if you say St Fagans to most people in this area, they will think of the Folk Museum, the national, it's officially the National Museum of History. It's a large site, 40 plus reconstructed houses and other buildings, and it tells the history of society in Wales across the decades. It's even got a chip shop, and there will be a pub. Needs an Italian cafe though. Now, St Fagans is also a place, and a place which for many years had a railway station. You can't miss the railway. I'm standing here, right alongside it. There is this little park, and there is a level crossing, which we'll probably go off in a minute, and I've got to show you this. I have absolutely no idea what this is meant to be, but it's a train of some sort, and it's right alongside, as I say, in this little park area. The station opened in 1852 from the Great Western Railway, and it's between Cardiff, which is in that direction, and Bridgend, which is in that direction. A couple of other stations along the way, and you quite often see trains, Transport for Wales trains today, because of various rail strikes. They're not on strike, heading up towards my steg, coming up this way, Great Western Main Line and a few freights. Now, despite the fact it's quite rural, it's quite substantial. They had two platforms. There was a signal box on the platform, and there was some iron traffic that came down from Wembo, which was loaded up here. Initially, there was a ground crossing. They added a bridge in, it was about 1931, they actually added a footbridge. And its main claim to fame is that the Queen Victoria once alighted here to go up to St Fagans Castle, which is up on the hill, just in that direction. We look at the rail map, we can see that there was a junction here as well between the Great Western and the Barry Railway, which looped up to take the line towards Pontypridd. Now, the Barry Railway ran a service between Clarence Road in Cardiff, Ely, St Fagans, and up to Pontypridd, and that was continued in British Rail days, right up until the late 1950s. There was a goods loop added in 1914 to the west of the station, and a second signal box replaced an earlier one. In post-war years, St Fagans fell on leaner times, and in 1959 the station was de-staffed. It was closed in September 1962, and at the same time the service between Cardiff-Clarence Road up to Pontypridd was also discontinued. The line was actually kept open. The Barry link was kept open for diversionary traffic in case Caerphilly Tunnel was closed. So that would mean you'd go from Cardiff all up round the loop and over Walnut Tree Viaduct to get to Caerphilly. And that is something in a diesel multiple unit I wouldn't have actually said no to. So where's the station? Well, the answer, as I walk across this little park, you can see through the fence here, it would have been exactly here. And as you can see, there's absolutely nothing left of it. It's completely gone. It's been relayed and removed on a number of occasions. Now, the reason I know it was here, and exactly here, is because of, if you look over here, you can see a path up to the street. And when you look on the maps, that path would have taken you down here, and this would have been the entrance into the station. The question I hear you ask is, what's the river doing down there? So we look on this photo of a train entering St Fagans station. You can see there is a river bridge. And in actual fact, in the 1960s, not long after the station closed, they diverted the river so that the bridge was no longer directly by the level crossing, but today is further down. So today, the bridge that takes the road over the river is no longer slap beside the level crossing, and in actual fact, where I'm standing in this little park would actually have been where the river ran. So the more astute of you might have noticed that this video is titled The Stations of St Fagans. So what? There's a station, there was a GWR station there. What else could there be? And some of you will be thinking, well, in storage in St Fagans Museum is a station, and you'd be right, it's Raglan Station. It was on the Newport to Monmouth line, and they bought it. It's in store, and one day, hopefully, they'll get around to restoring it and putting it in the park, where we can actually perhaps have a little bit of railway and transport history in our folk museum. But that's not what I'm talking about. Let's have another look at the house. Now, it's quite a large house and quite a sort of massive property, and it was owned by somebody called Lord Windsor, who latterly became the Earl of Plymouth. And he had a job, and his job was chairman of the Barry Railway. And if you're chairman of the Barry Railway, and you have the Barry Railway coming up more or less to your door, well, wouldn't you build your own personal platform? And that's exactly what he did. In this book, it describes the station as being level with the Great Western Station between the signal box and the junction with the Barry Railway. And if we look here at the National Library of Scotland maps, it's very possible it would have been here, possibly seeing as there's a path at the end of the road which would access the castle. The book mentions the platform, and it existed. How long for and how often it used are other questions. If you know, please comment below. Looking on the other side of the road from the park, the rain has started again, right by the level crossing. This is where the signal box would have been, so it's very possible this other line, this other platform would have been somewhere along here. It was a long time ago, and it's probably gone, and there's no trace of it at all. This is roughly where it would have been. And it started raining, so I'm getting back in the car. The other thing about where that platform was is there could be a future station. There's a lot of interest in opening a station here to serve the museum. Also to serve the local village, but to serve mainly the museum. And if that's the case, they need a car park. And there is of no use whatsoever. So therefore, if they did build another station, it would be where the old platform was, round by the Barry Railway, and a car park on there. So that's the GWR station, the private station for Lord Windsor, the station in store up in the museum, and who knows, potentially a future station. So from St Fagans and the rain, I'll be out looking at more stuff in the future, so please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification button, and I'll see you next time. Until then.